Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you guys for tuning in. As you can see, we're going to answer some homeschool questions. I did put it up on my Instagram. I'll put it up again at Alexandra Naznami, so you guys can check that out. You guys can follow along what we're doing. And if you have questions, feel free to ask. You guys can ask down below. I'll try to answer as quickly as possible if I see them, or I will do another video to answer questions. I just want to go through questions that I've seen through my homeschooling groups. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, thank you. Welcome. I appreciate all the support. I am a long-time homeschooler. We've been doing it for about 6 years now. I've been working with homeschool families since 2009. It's been a long time. I really love homeschooling, and I cannot advocate enough for it. Don't get me wrong, private and public and charter have their places. Everyone has their own thing, and I appreciate that. I appreciate having options out there. There's no one size fits all. I'm going to state that. Whatever your choice is, I get it. I appreciate it. No judgment. We do what we have to do. All right, let's get into it. So the first question is, and I keep seeing this, and it's like my biggest pet peeve, is remote learning and homeschooling the same thing? No, it's not. Stop. Just stop. Okay? Like, I just don't understand how some people, and I'm sorry if this is you, it's not like a judgment on you, but there's a lot of people that still use the words interchangeably. They're very different. Now, remote learning, while yes, you're doing it at home, is not homeschooling. There are two different regulations. Okay, let me start with that. Remote learning is over here. Homeschooling is over here. Remote learning is through your school, where you have your Zoom classes, you have your assignments through the teachers, whatever the way they did it. I don't know, because we don't remote learn, but I've heard some terrible experiences, both from the parent side, from the parent side, from the student side, and from the administration side. My mom is on the administration side, so I've seen the horrors from other teachers. So that is that. That is through the DOE or the BOE or whatever you have in your district, your state, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that per se, if that works for you. Some kids actually did really well with it, and hey, good for them. A lot of kids did not. Okay, just saying. A lot of kids did not. But that's all, the paperwork was done by your teachers and all that. That goes to the district. Homeschooling over here, at least in my state, I can speak to my state. You're going to have to look up your state regulations if you're not in New York. Or you can join one of my Zoom meetings, which I will link down my website below. I have a lot of information, and my Zoom meeting dates and what they are, because I'm breaking them down, is on the console page. But anyway, back to homeschooling. Excuse me. Homeschooling, you choose your own curriculum, and you can choose how you learn. So maybe you do want that online aspect. Maybe you want a workbook. Maybe you unschool. Maybe you just use what's around you. There's all sorts of types of homeschooling and different curriculums and teaching styles and learning styles, and it all plays a part. It really does. But you can be flexible with it. If one thing's not working, you can change it up. Unfortunately, with remote learning. There's no change up. Even when you're physically in the school, like on a normal, let's say we're not in a pandemic, they don't really have that flexibility because there's so many schools or so many students. And so like here in New York, classrooms can range from 25 kids to 34 depending on the grade. And it's really hard to change things up per student, on top of if you're, say, like at a high school level, one class may be 34, but you have 10 classes. That's a lot of kids that you need to like change up, and then you have to grade papers, and there's all sorts of stuff. It's not flexible. You see what I'm saying? Like with homeschooling, you can, if say you chose to do a more online school, like we did Time for Learning. We did it. He was kind of resistant, but we managed through it. And then like I could see how resistant he was. We switched to a workbook. So we do workbook now for an hour, and then we unschool. That seems to be doing a lot better for him than that online. Even though right now he's saying that he wants to kind of go back to that online. I'm seeing him physically do better with that workbook and then unschool. It's, for us, I find that better. But my point is, you can switch it up. If one curriculum's not working for you, switch. It's okay. They say give it at least 6 weeks just to see how well it works. But, I mean, you should really look into your child's learning style and your teaching style before you even figure out what curriculums would suit you best. And then there's many more questions to that as well. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying not to rush this, but I've been trying to film this for so long that I just don't want to go on tangents. Next question. Do you need to have a degree or teaching degree to homeschool? Depends on your state. I think there was only one state that I saw, I don't remember which one it was, that you had to have a bachelor's degree or associate's degree in order to homeschool. And you have to like prove it or whatever. I don't remember what state it was, but it's not New York. Not most states. In most states, and again, you have to check your state laws. You have to have, I don't think you even have to, some states will require you to have a high school degree or GED, but yeah, I don't think you need that here. I'm not totally sure, like I said. Yeah, I'm like thinking about it. I haven't seen that. They don't ask you to prove it, so I don't think you need it. Should you have your stuff? Yeah, I mean, it's nice for you, right? If you haven't done it. You can school alongside your child's done that. Not gonna say it's easy, but it's possible. If you're going for your degree, because this was the other half of the question. If I'm going for my teaching degree, can I use my homeschooling hours as part of that? No, you cannot, unfortunately. When you're going for your teaching degree, they teach more towards the traditional school, like you're in a school, you sit there, you do your work. Whereas, like I said, with the homeschooling, it's very flexible. There's different types of homeschooling. You can really cater to the child. The homeschooling may help your teaching career, but your teaching career may not necessarily help your homeschooling. I see a lot of previous teachers, like I was a preschool teacher, so it wasn't a major deal, but I see a lot of like older teachers, teachers that are teaching older kids be like, I have a teaching degree and it didn't really help me with the homeschooling. I had to completely unlearn everything I learned for that degree to homeschool, because it's a very different style where, yes, you'll know how to lesson plan. Yes, you'll know the developmental, like how to do things, but will your child like that traditional school? Probably not. They may be unschoolers, and so you're gonna have to like get creative with your lessons. For us, we use a lot of Minecraft and cooking. That happens to be our way. And like, I don't want to say like just like preschool, because we're not doing it preschool style, but very much with the the preschool, where I would, we would theme things up, and then we would read books and we did activities. We kind of do the same thing, but at an older level. Like, if he's into something, we'll go get books on it. We get books anyway, but that's kind of like the thing. Like, you can, just because it says preschool or a preschool theme, like say gardening, maybe we'll dive a little bit deeper. That's the cool thing about it. All right, moving on. Are there grade standards? No, there are no grade standards. There are grade standards if you're in traditional school or public school or whatever. Each curriculum will kind of have their standard, but there's no actual grade standard. So if your kid is in, say, 4th grade, but they're doing 3rd grade math and say 4th grade, 5th grade history, that's totally okay. Like, there's nothing, every kid will be at their own place. What do you put down on your paperwork? I would put down 4th grade. That's just me. That's totally okay. Like, it is what it is. There's a range. You don't have to really worry. Some states have testing, like we have testing, but it's in the older grades. Do you have to worry about all that? Some do, but the good thing about these tests is, like, you decide what test it is, when you do it, how many times you do it, and you can give it in. You don't have to give them all in. You pick one, you pick your best and give it in. So that's the really cool thing, right? So no, there's no grade standards. I did put on, like I said, on my website, I do have that, just in case you're one of those parents that, like, okay, but if there's no grade standards, where should my kid kind of be? I have put end of the year, and I've also put per grade per subject, or I'm working on that now. So if you want to print that off, go ahead, and you can use it to, like, kind of check on your curriculum that you purchased or are making even. That'll just help. Just saying. Because I know, like me, I like to know, okay, where is he supposed to be? A lot of parents may just be doing this for a year or two, and maybe your child decides they want to go back to public school. Maybe it's not because of coronavirus, but maybe you decided, okay, elementary, we're just going to homeschool, and then they're going to go back for middle school or, say, high school. It's good to know kind of where the range is. Just saying. Okay, I'm going to just throw this out there quickly. Homeschooling special needs. I've been seeing a lot of comments on my homeschooling, on the special needs different groups that I'm in, and I'm almost cringing. I'm not, like, it's not because of the parents so much. Sometimes it's an outsider view where, like, they're getting comments like, oh, well, your kid should be here. Please try not to judge any parent. Like, you just don't know what your kid is capable of, or their kid is capable of. Just be worried about your own family. Like I mentioned, Matthew is special needs. He has autism, sensory processing disorder, ADHD, and anxiety. Would you know it looking at him? Not necessarily, unless you're with him 24/7 and saw our complete struggles from the age of 1 to 3. Like, that was oh my God, that was like the hardest time of our lives. And then from there, it's gotten a little bit easier. Again, my journey is not everyone's journey. Just remember that. Just because you know one child with special needs doesn't mean you know all children with special needs. So I'm kind of like, it's upsetting to see other parents struggle. Now, there was this one post, I'm not going to read it, but basically she said that her child was, she was in public school originally, and this public school really fell through. So she pulled her out to homeschool. I don't know what way of homeschooling she was using. Like I said, there's different types. But she said, I feel like I'm failing her because she's having these tantrums. She's having all these meltdowns, and she hasn't fully finished the grade. What do I do? And my best advice, and this could, again, it doesn't have to be towards special needs, but my best advice is, if your child does have a special need, so like I said, Matthew, work with their needs. That doesn't mean that you, like, just because that they have a special needs, like, you let every little thing go. No, but like Matthew needs some sensory things, right? So like our jumping, our swinging, we have a massager. I have times where like I do his back. We work with that. Sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we need to be active. That's totally okay. So my advice to her was, I'm not sure what type of homeschooling you're using. I don't know what you're doing with her. If she's not ready to move on to the next grade, that's totally okay. It's understandable. She's not the only one. It's okay. Relax. If she's really resistant, again, this goes to any kid. If they're really resistant to what you're doing, switch it up. So I said, why don't you try to unschool? If she likes something, say like I keep saying, Matthew likes Minecraft and cooking, use that to your advantage. And this was advice that I've heard for years, and then, not that I didn't use it, but it really hit me this year when I was doing our own IEP meeting. They're like, well, if he's so good with Minecraft, and use it. So I literally scoured the internet, scoured Amazon actually. I bought almost every workbook that I could for the grade, and that's what we've been using. And I gotta say, it's been so amazing to see him going from this like online platform and being so resistant to these workbooks. I had other workbooks that I had bought previously, and we do like those, but so I got the Minecraft as well, and seeing the change in pace, like he enjoys it. He's been asking for it. And these are workbooks. These aren't like, okay, we go then into Minecraft and learn, but then we'll go back into Minecraft and we'll do other lessons, and it's so much fun, and I enjoy it. Our cooking, he loves to just pop in and do stuff, doesn't matter what I'm making, doesn't matter if it's a planned lesson or not, because I do have those. He's just always popping in and like, okay, I'm going to do this with you. Oh, can I measure? Oh, can I do this? Even cleaning, like, my child's not usual, I will just say that. He enjoys cleaning. Like, if you can get him in that cleaning mood, it's so cool to see him be like, okay, we go this is organized, this goes here. He'll ask questions about certain things. Maybe he finds a picture and I'll ask a question about it. Or a time. He's been asking about different times of like history. So it's really cool to see him learn and be excited about learning. The last question that I'm going to answer, because this is going a little bit long, is, do you have to do certain hours, like a set of hours per subject? All right, it really depends on your state. It really does. I think only one state they do, like, you have to do a certain amount of hours per subject. But again, I don't know for sure on your state if you're watching this and you're not from New York. I'm going to say for New York, no. And for most states that I know, there's not. You can do, so we have to do 900 hours minimum, right? For Matthew's grade. You can do 800 PE and then split the rest between the others. Not saying that you should. I'm just giving an example. They don't check that. But we do have to hit those 900 hours. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Actually, one last thing, because that goes on to that. How do you track that? I don't track it. Quite honestly, as homeschoolers, everything counts. Like I said, cooking counts, playing games, watching movies, field trips, everything counts. Your child is always learning. Even if you're not homeschooling, your child is learning. From the minute they wake up to the minute they fall asleep. Their brains are like sponges, and it's really amazing to see. All right, that is the end of our sit down comment questions. If I haven't answered your question, please let me know down below, or go to my Instagram and let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Hope to see you on one of my Zoom sessions. And if you're watching this much later and you're still interested, hey, don't worry. I'm going to hopefully continue to do them. hope to see you then. See you guys next time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Much love to all of you.